Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ops IQ, the place where we learn how to improve business performance. So today should be interesting. I'm going to talk to you about the importance of making decisions in meetings. Now, I'm not talking about having agendas and rotating speakers and all that stuff. That's great. But really, if you do all of that and you're not making the right decisions at meetings, then all of that is useless. So why do we care about making the correct decisions in business meetings? Well, the answer is it's extremely costly. So costly that you might go out of business. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So how costly is it? This study done by Gartner shows that poor business decisions in meetings can cost companies more than 3% of their profit. The Gartner study goes on to say that 22% of companies don't include financial information in their decision-making process at all, and those decisions requiring that are increasing as M&A activity increases. And I agree. Sometimes at meetings, I don't see any financial information at all. I hear a lot of I think, I feel comments, but no actual cost data and what the risks may or may not cost. Again, this is really important because whether or not you have an agenda or not is important. But if you're not looking at what the cost impacts are or the revenue impacts are to your business when you're making a decision, that is a serious problem. The Gartner study goes on to say that CFOs should put proper controls in place to make sure that these financial implications are being acted upon. But we can go much further. Why? Because there are many other things involved in making poor decisions. This study from the Department of Psychology at the University of Oslo looked into why business managers have difficulty in speaking up and expressing their opinions. What they found was two things. One, there isn't a culture where that's acceptable. In other words, they don't want to challenge the other people at the table. And then number two, the goals of the meeting aren't clear. Like, why are they there? Another paper from the Social Science Congress shows that what a decision even is varies by company culture. So at some meetings, people don't even know what a decision is, what constitutes a decision. So they may be arguing about little things that don't matter, and they're not using thinking tools. So bottom line, here's an infographic showing that there's a cost of $37 billion per year in poor decision making. So we can see from just these few samples that the wrong culture can create poor decision making. And what's the right culture? One that allows for people to give feedback, embraces that sometimes uncomfortable conversation, and accepts that and expects that. Now let's talk about what great companies do that makes them better at making decisions in meetings. This study from the Journal of Organizational Dynamics shows that discouraging type A conflict and encouraging type C conflict leads to better decision making. Another study done by the Social Sciences Congress shows that process is also a really important part of making good decision making. And again, I have to agree. I don't see a lot of process at meetings that I attend with clients. The study goes on to show that companies that have a process and continually audit and evaluate and improve that process make better decisions. Okay, so what have we learned here? That companies that have type C cultures and have a decision-making process in place do better than those that do not. But okay, then how do we do that? The process is actually the easy part, and you can see on the screen here, and I've included a link in the comments section below of a meeting process chart that I give to clients for them to start with. You can see that this meeting process breaks down decisions into 4 types: minor with some consultation, complex, and chaotic. The Cinefin model, which helps you understand which type of decision you're dealing with, is also included in the bottom right-hand corner there. The most important part of this whole process is to review your decision-making activities at your quarterly business review every 3 months, and then do an audit, see how you did, and then improve, find out why you're making good and bad decisions, and make changes so that you improve that process over and over again. To do this, you need a decision-making log. Now, it doesn't have to be complex, and here's one on the screen, and I've included a link to that in the notes below as well. So getting back to Gartner's recommendations about CFOs putting processes into meeting decisions, it's much better to include those finance controls in the whole meeting process. That way, they're audited every quarter. You can get better at them. You can include them more and more, and they make relevance to the team at the time, rather than having a CFO off to the side introduce all these processes, and the team may, usually in my experience, looks at those as dictatorial and coming from somewhere else. And we all know that if it's not their process and it's imposed upon them by somebody else, it just doesn't work as well. So the process is the easy part, culture is the hard part, and it really starts with the top. The senior leader has to make sure that you're looking at business decisions and facts and not politics or personal agendas. Also, it takes a concerted effort over time. So if you want to make arguing about a decision the norm, then over time you have to encourage that and never whack people for doing that. Never have side-handed comments about oh, that Phil Uglow and his crazy comments, that sort of thing. You have to stop that and nip that in the bud and be consistent all the time. So a senior leader has to make sure that their team is making use of the right tools to make decisions, so they don't have to come up with the solution themselves, but what they're looking at is, are my people using the right tools to make these decisions? I'm going to do a whole video on different tools that you can use to make decisions, but if you'd like some more information on that now, just shoot me an email and I'll send you out some information. So let's do a quick recap. Bad decisions cost billions. Great companies promote type C cultures and have a decision-making process. To get better, you need to know how to solve problems, follow the process, and most importantly, audit your decisions. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a like and share it with a friend or colleague. And if you want to receive more information on improving operations at your company, hit the subscribe button. Finally, if you're looking for specific corporate performance coaching, details on how to do so are down below. Thanks.